I was always told that entrepreneurship was less about skill and more about mentality, meaning it's not as much about being great about a specific thing as it is about understanding how to monetize anything that you're good at. My journey into coaching started with a daily blog sharing how bad I was at trading, and I was able to turn that into a successful business which has worked with hundreds of thousands of traders across the world and was even recognized in Forbes magazine. So if I can do it, why can't you do the same? So start growing your business today by starting a podcast using Spotify for Podcasters. I love them because they allow me to record, distribute, monetize, all from a single platform with just a click of a few buttons. I can also record video episodes and interact with you guys, my fans, by posting Q&A and poll questions. Best of all, it's free, which is massive since most businesses require significant startup costs to get going. So the way I see it, there's no risk or reward to at least giving it a try. So get started today at www.spotify.com/podcasters or download the Spotify for Podcasters app. And as the great Shia LaBeouf once said, just do it. So if you're a frequent listener of the Trading Coach podcast, or if you've ever seen any of our videos or presentations about trading, you know that one of the things that we always preach at Tier 1 Trading is developing your trading based on your philosophy and based off your personality. Now, that leads to the question from a lot of newer traders, because you probably never heard this before, is, well, how do I discover what my trading personality and what my trading philosophy is? And there's a long kind of list of things that you can do in order to discover that. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you really a story about how I discovered more about myself and how I was able to kind of translate that discovery into really discovering what my trading and my personality was, and ultimately develop a trading style around that. Now, today's episode does come from a recording from one of our Q&A sessions, which we run each and every Monday on the Tier 1 Trading platform. So at the beginning, there's a little bit of talk that refers to a chart. So just kind of use your imagination. We're talking about bracketing a stop loss segment and kind of putting risk reward in between that bracketing segment. It's only a little bit, but just wanted to clear it up before we hop into things. All right, enjoy. So you see, these are my rules. This is literally my bracket, my cage of rules. Yet I have the flexibility to make my own decisions based off structure, based off volume, even handle numbers, what have you, based off my analysis of the market, to act freely within this cage of rules. And this is the best example I can give of rules-based discretionary trading. You give yourself a cage. I can't venture out here. Right, this is my neighbor's dog with the electric fence because he's always getting lost. I can't venture out here. I can't venture out here. But in here, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I trust my judgment. And I can tell you what, we can end things on this unless you guys have any questions. I said it always goes back to personality type. What I've noticed in myself. Do you guys know why I became an entrepreneur? I don't really want to be an entrepreneur, to be honest with you. I don't really like it. But there is one thing that I really value. And it's the most important thing. Because I was a bad little kid. No, I hate rules. I don't like rules. I'm also claustrophobic. I don't know if that has something to do with it as well. Like, I don't like being in enclosed spaces. I get weird and freak out and have the nervous sweats and go crazy and, stuff like that. I don't like having no exits. That's another thing that I can psychoanalyze later. But I got tired of rules. I got tired of having a boss that said, hey, show up this time. Don't leave until this time. Eat lunch here. Sit there. Like, I don't like that. Like, I'm a grown man. Like, I got tired of it. I wanted the freedom. Like, I love my neighbor. We talk all the time. And what's cool, he loves his job. He has a boss, but he's really good at his job, and his boss gives him freedom. This is a lot of places after COVID, where his boss is like, hey, you can do work from the office. You can do work from home. You can do work. He's in the sales. You can do work on the golf course. You can do work wherever you want as long as you get your work done. And he loves it because he's like, I can do what I want. I can stay home with my kids if the wife needs a break and get work done here. But I can also go to the office and get, cause I like the socialness and I'm a little bit more focused because I don't have two kids yelling at the office. He can play golf while making deals. He has the freedom to do whatever he wants as long as he gets the job done. So the rules base for him is like, hey, you got to get the jobs done. Like, let's see those numbers at the end of the month. But how you get to those numbers, I don't really care. But one of the reasons I became an entrepreneur because I got tired of following rules. I got tired of people telling me what I needed to do. I got tired of asking permission. There were certain things I wanted to do in my life that didn't didn't necessarily mesh with the job I was going to take. I got a job offer. I was going to take it. And one of the reasons I turned it down, because the job was like, hey, so I'll give you a quick story. So when I graduated, I had to do an internship to graduate grad school, get my master's degree. And I did a really good job in this internship. This was the one where I told you about, like, I was really good at getting this guy coffee. This was my predictive analysis, my IPDE, right? I learned the rhythms of his daily routine. And my main job was to be a coffee boy. I did some other work and setting up camps and programs and all that stuff. But my main job was get this man, Thomas Bauman, get this man his coffee. And the trader in me understood his ebbs and flows. And I started having his coffee on his desk right when he was about to ask for it. He'd be like, Akil, come here. And I'd come in with a coffee. He'd be like, oh, my man, right? And it's funny. I used to joke about that as if it was like just a funny story. But I think that is one of the reasons that he decided to hire me, because it proved that I paid attention, I can read patterns, and I was on top of my game. It also kicked off my coffee addiction, which wasn't a good thing. So there's pros and cons of everything, right? You know, that many times getting coffee a day, you're like, man, he's drinking like 5 cups. This stuff must be good. And you drink it, ew, it's nasty. And then you drink it again, and then 20 years later, you're still drinking, and your heart starts pumping just thinking about it. Oh, coffee. Anyway, I digress. But that was my main thing. I was predictive in my analysis, I guess you could say, in getting him coffee, and that showed intuition, right? So when I was done the internship, he hired me right away. He said, hey, man, like, I don't want you to leave. Like, here's how much I can give you this much a year. Here's what I want you doing. And I was like, perfect, right? I'm coming out of grad school. I don't know what I want to do with my life. This is after the recession, right? I'm, perfect. A real job. Like, this is cool. This is what you're supposed to do, right? The problem is, I was coaching track on the side, right? I was doing the 3 jobs. I was coaching track, working in the schools, and all that fun stuff, right? I was coaching track on the side, which I really started enjoying. And I said, hey, I want to continue coaching track, right? Track practice starts at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. The hours of this job was your traditional 9 to 5. So I was like, man, I would love to do this job, but I also want to do this track. Like, and I'm greedy, right? Only child, I'm greedy. Can I have both? And I'm like, well, what if I come in at 7 o'clock? What if I do a 7 to 3 instead of a 9 to 5? Like, same hours. I'll come in 6 o'clock. I played sports. I'm used to waking up early. I'll come in at 6 o'clock. I'll do a 6 to 2, whatever you need me to do. Like, I'll get all the work done, but can I do it at my own hours? And at that time, there was no flexibility. Again, this is pre-COVID, where everything was kind of more traditional. He's like, no, it has to be 9 to 5. And I said, well, sorry, sir. I'll have to decline, right? And took a ballsy move, which actually, you think about it, I don't know how many of you guys listen. The podcast just came out yesterday, podcast 857. It's called a Sad Story and a Big Warning. And I won't spoil it for you, but in that podcast, I spoke a lot about decision points in life, forks in the road, where they come up kind of randomly and you don't know what they are, but you're going to be forced to make a difficult choice. And these difficult choices are going to be the yay or nay moments for the rest of your life. You make the right choice and obviously follow up the right actions, it's going to put you on a completely different path of life. You make the wrong choice, and usually it's like the comfortable, safe choice, you're going to be exactly where you are, right? Just imagine Chutes and Ladders, if you guys know that game, where one is that ladder, but you don't know it's a ladder. It could be a ladder or a chute. You never know. That's the hard part. One is that ladder where if you make this choice, boom, it boosts you all the way up to the top of the game, Snakes and Ladders. The other one may be either just nothing and you continue the slow path of grinding it up to the top, or it may be a chute that takes you back down to the bottom, or a snake that takes you back down to the bottom. Again, why were we riding snakes down? That's weird. But listen to that podcast if you haven't already. But this is one of those decisions where the comfortable choice was take this job. Take your $40,000 a year and your safety. And man, you can work your way up the corporate ladder, which isn't a bad thing, right? That's cool. It was in a field that I actually enjoyed, so I liked it. It dealt with sports and helping kids. That's right up my alley. Not just kids, but helping communities. But I decided no, because I wanted to be greedy and selfish. I said, hey, I want this job because this allows me to do what I want to do, and I'm tired. I've been working since I was a kid, building houses since like 9 years old, to working at summer camps, to working in food dining halls and cleaning toilets and banks. Like I've done all this dumb stuff for my entire life. I want to do something I want to do. So I said, no, I'm gonna have to decline respectfully. I decline your offer. I'm gonna bet on myself. Then I got home and I was like, Akil, what the hell did you just do? No, you idiot. What did you decline? No plan. I wasn't good at trading it. I'm like, no. Should I call him back? Should I call him back and beg? Please, TB, please. But I didn't, and again, I'm stubborn, and I did bet on myself, and I also have enough pride, too much pride to beg. There are some times where you probably should beg, but I had too much pride to do it. So I said, too late now. Let's open this door and see if it's a snake or a ladder. And it happened to be both. It happened to be a snake for a little bit, but then I built my own ladder and climbed the snake, and that's just how it works. You just don't open the door and you go up it, right? But the point was that personality, that philosophy carried over into my trading, because if I get enclosed too much with rules, just like my claustrophobia, if I get enclosed too much with rules, I panic. So if I give myself too many rules on the chart, too many strict rules where there's no room to move. Imagine rules being like a boxed, like a box, like a room that you don't have enough room. You panic. And when you panic, you make mistakes, you do dumb stuff. I felt myself doing that. When I put myself in situations, when I traded strategies where my rules were so strict that it didn't give me room to breathe, I self-sabotaged because I had to get out of that box, right? So I had to break out and break my rules in order to get a breather out of that box. What I found is that when I gave myself rules, but I had the illusion of freedom. I had the illusion of complete freedom, but there were rules within it. It's kind of like, there's plenty of different shows like that where you think you're on like an island, but it's not really an island. And like there's the Truman shows like that as well. It allowed me to operate and do what I was supposed to do. I made less mistakes because I had breathing room. I had room to roam. I had room to do what I selfishly wanted to do, even if I knew in the back of my mind, hey, I can't go past this boundary. At least it gave me the illusion of freedom, which was important for me to staying sane and not breaking my rules as much, and eventually led to me not breaking my rules at all. So that's what I found out about myself and my personality. And some of you are the same, some of you completely different. Some of you are the opposite. Some of you need, some of you, freedom is scary. I can't be trusted, Akil. I need rules. So you need that tight box. But that's the journey of trading is figuring that out about yourself and then putting yourself in the best situation to succeed. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope it gave you a little bit of insight about kind of how I discovered more about myself as a trader. And it's important to understand that you need to be yourself when it comes to trading. I know there's a lot of people out there that say you have to trade this way or you have to do this, you have to do that. The key is there are millions of ways to be successful in the market, but the only way you're going to be able to be successful is if you follow something that is comfortable for you. So it's really important that you take time to understand your values, your philosophy, your personality, and then develop a trading style around that. Trust me, I did the other way and it failed for a long time. I've worked with a lot of traders who have tried it the other way and have failed for a long time. Every once in a while, there's a trader that slips through the crack. They're just able to do so, but the vast majority of traders need to find something that they're comfortable with trading if they ever want to consistently trade it. All right, that's a long outro, but I'll see you guys next episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Leave me a rating, leave me a review, and I hope you guys enjoyed.